I think we had some requests before. I know I see you, Senator Padilla, but Senator Warner, King, Padilla. So we'll start with Warner, then we'll go, I know, Senator Cruz and Senator Capito.
Well, thank you, Madam Chairman. I want to acknowledge what you all have indicated, that there's, some of this seems pretty simple, but I can tell you the bipartisan group, and it was a broad bipartisan group. This was not a small gang. This was 20-plus senators that met literally for weeks on end. I think there is, as Leader McConnell said, enormous complexity in this, and I think we did spend a lot of time trying to get it right, number one. Number two, I really appreciate you and Ranking Member Blunt not feeling that you had to reinvent the wheel the way some committees would, because the product didn't necessarily originate with the chair and the ranking member. And I think that approach, I'm grateful to both of you. I also would echo what Senator Blunt said, that I think your hearing you had was really helpful. And I remember one of the witnesses that while he had technical changes, those changes I think were extraordinarily important. So I think we have come to a very, very good product. The art of compromise is not getting all you want. I want to point out two things from my colleagues that I hope we could revisit at some point. One is something that would clearly fall within the jurisdiction of this committee. And I've not pitched Senator Blunt on this or Senator King on this, but both as members of the Intel Committee I think would realize how important. We need to have some level of de minimis cybersecurity standards for our voting machines. Right now we have standards to make sure that if they're put in a bad weather situation, that they can withstand a storm, but not that they can withstand a cyber attack. And nothing would be partisan or anything else on that, but in terms of really making a 21st century election system safe, I would hope we could come back and at some later point look at those de minimis cybersecurity standards for our voting machines. Second, which would be a little bit outside this committee, but I work closely with Senator Portman and Senator Sinema on trying to make sure that the Postal Service in the weeks and months before an election don't put a thumb on the scale to make sure that that mail-in voting is done in a way where voters know that that mail is going to be treated as first class, it's going to be treated in an appropriate way. That, again, will probably be more the responsibility of his GAC, but I think both improvements could be made. But in the spirit of the gang and your good work on rules, we'll have to revisit those on another day. But I do think the working group did a good product, and again, want to appreciate the chair and the ranking members and all the members of the Rules Committee for coming up with, I think, was a very sensible manager's amendment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Warner. Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Madam Chair.